Okay, hello, dear friends. Good evening. And this is the continuous voiceover of the little town called Campbell. So I went to Campbell, and it was a very beautiful little town. And it's very different from the place where I live. And I found it's a 10 minutes drive, a 15 minutes drive, but I think each city has its own spirit. It's very interesting. Even my neighboring town, I find it very different. The city's administration, the city's leadership is different, have different philosophy, and the people who live there have a different way of life and different believing or different style, and it's just very interesting. So from time to time I would like to go to see different places, and it does not even need to be far away. 5 minutes drive, you go to a total different world, and not exactly total different world, but if you think about the spirit of the city, it's very different. So if we open up our eyes, every day is a new discovery, and every time there is a new discovery, and every city has its own story, and those stories encourage us and motivate. Those stories encourage us and motivate us and inspire us to live a life that is more entertaining, more enjoyable, and more interesting, let's say. Isn't it fun to see the night view of the city? And there was an ice cream shop, and there was a motorcycle outside, and there was one motorcycle playing the loudest music as you could imagine. And maybe the city does not have a noise regulation or provision, so it's quite interesting to see that people can exercise their total freedom in such an extent. And I think this is a Saturday evening. Yes, Saturday evening. Friday evening? No, Saturday evening. Saturday evening is always fun, and there was weekend has started and not yet ended. Monday has Sunday to wait until Monday to come, and people are relaxed. It's the time to go outside to social, so the restaurants were all full, and the bookstore. I love this bookstore. I remember I had bought some little books in this bookstore. I think this is an independent bookstore. It looked very different from the big chains. I have nothing against these big chains, but you see something new, different, and you really see the store owner's taste or store manager's taste, or a person who loves book, who make a living out of books and showing their interest, showing their selection of books. which is very interesting. It becomes much more personal to the degree of the interest of the people who work in the shop. And I remember there was a booking or some store in my town. There was the the employees selection or the readers selection. It's very interesting. So there are books suggested by the employees who read the books, and it's by the people who read the books and who enjoy the books, and that is interesting. And I think they are Boy Scout or something. They are doing some fundraising on that side. It's a quiet and peaceful and paradisic little town. And there is a little bit of the western, far west, those kind of western little town, American old town. And there is also this new economy, and in the Silicon Valley, the trendy things. Anyway, it's a mixture of old and new. It has a lot of old things, a lot of the original things, a lot of local things, and make this place more tasteful and more unique. Someone in Campbell. And those little shops are syrupy. I think this might be a chain store, but still, these little things. And this one is Orchard coffee shop. And I remember many years ago, I brought my glass paintings here, and you can see those. The first layer, the cat is not, and the second layer, the wine glass and the long tube glass. They are my glass painting, and I painted with glass paints and oven baked it, and brought from my home to this place to put into the shop for sale, for demo. And it's been 20 years and they are still there. Maybe because I didn't collect it, or anyway, it is a good memory. I hope they will still keep it as long as it exists, this place. I remember I came here quite often at that time. I walked in this area, and when I finished work, I came here. And I remember when we first came back from Australia, I think Australia, I brought my sons coming to this place, and in that exact coffee shop, and we had a cup of coffee, and they drank chocolate or other things, and some cake and things. And the interesting thing is that was that there were internet in the coffee shop, and everybody was on computer. That was so strange. Nobody looked at nobody, and everyone looked at the computer. And then I think we made a video, maybe. We thought we were aliens, and we were so different. And now you think it might be a good idea. It's a community place, and people goes to coffee shop to work, to focus on their work, to concentrate, because coffee shop is I think coffee shop is a very good place for concentrating, because there are chaos in the coffee shop, kids screaming, and people talking business, interview, preparing test, tutoring, all these things happening, but it has nothing to do with you. And I like to go to a coffee shop to get that feeling and to know that people are living a life that is so full and so real and so full, so real and so condensed with so many things in life. And it is inspiring to see people living a life so full, living a full life with goal, with aim. And it's also very, very relaxing to know that it's okay, that you do not do those things. And it's such a feeling of luxury to see other people busy, and you have this moment of time to relax and to see the show other people mounted, the show other people played in front of your eyes. And life is a show, and coffee shop is one of the center stage of a live show. And you do not even need to pay tickets. And people are so real to perform. And it's just very, very interesting. I think this is why authors always go to a certain coffee shop to get their inspiration. And I like to go to different coffee shop. Actually, I do not have a specific coffee shop. There is one in my workplace, because I have short time. I do not have long enough time to go to different place. I personally like to see different place, different coffee shop. I remember there were time my friend and I, we decided to discover all the coffee shops. So we went here and there, and just to see something new, something different. This is very much a girl thing, a woman's thing, yes. And to see life happening in front of your eyes, this is very, 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 very fascinating. I find a lot of fun in watching the show. And this place I have never seen. I think this is newly renovated. It's possible that it's newly renovated, and it is beautiful, like a monument, like a theater. Look at the marble, look at the design, and inside I think it's an arcade or something. There are food, there are games. It is very much like a movie theater before. I hope I figure out what it was. A piece of history of this little town. And this one in front of our eyes must be a wine tasting place. Westburg must be a wine tasting place, and focus on different kind of wines and liquors and alcohols with some degustation, with some pairing of food. Looks like that, and it's quite lively. Oh, must be the sommelier of the shop of the wine, and telling the story of the wine, and it's quite fun to walk around. One thing I kind of not like is to have a lot of cars in the city. Of course, it's very convenient, but I would like to see the cars on the side, not on the main street. Yeah, I like that. And this is another restaurant, or it's a sports bar, but relatively upscale sports bar. Ah, yeah, hockey game is coming back again. It's the hockey season. It might be the first night of hockey or something. And it's fun to see people dress up and go to have a good time outside, isn't it? I kept walking, such an interesting place. This must be the Campbell town crier. Oh, Jeffries. What is it? Real estate office? I do not know. Tailor teas to taste. Ah, yeah, this is a tea shop. I remember I have been here one time, and it's what do I say? It's a tea shop with a lot of flavor and things. Campbell Express is the local newspaper. Myself in the mirror, and this is this and that. Furniture store, and this and that. I'm almost falling asleep, and so are you, I think. Almost no voice. Outside, a lot of it's the end of summer and the beginning of autumn, and it's still warm outside, and especially that particular night, this particular night, it was quite warm, and it just there is life in the air, there is dynamic in the air, there is love in the air, there is a romance in the air. It's you can feel it by watching the footage of all these videos, and it's a great pleasure just to walk around and contemplating about our life, about the meaning of our existence, about what? About not to be stressed out and live an ordinary life. But actually, on the other hand, when you think about it, there is nothing that is not supported by money. If one does not have money, one cannot go to restaurant. If one does not have money, one cannot live in a place that is fun, peaceful, safe, and beautiful, and quiet, and enjoyable. If one does not have money, one cannot enjoy or consume these. But on the other hand, just walking along is equally fine, if not more fun. It's an interesting question. It might be an interesting debate. How important is money? I think the basic is important, and the rest is a choice. One should have a basic means to live life. Then the rest is how you live your life, isn't it? Is it true? The sweetness. This is a bonbon store, candy store. It's been there, I think 10, 20 years must be. Oh, goo-goo, goo-goo, goo-goo. Goo-goo is lying on the table. I think you can hear. It's purring. You have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Enjoy every day of your life. Enjoy Gugu. Enjoy the thing, the people, the life you love. I love you. I really do. Do.